Figure we'll do the Central now. We'll do the East last. Okay. It's really gonna shock me with this one. Who do you have finishing 8th in the Central?
All right,
Let me
just
brace
so we're not
myself. Let me
wasting
brace
anyone's
myself. Let
time.
me brace myself.
Let's just not waste a lot of time. Let's just be realistic. Detroit,
Yeah.
nothing going on really.
No.
Like, there's not much to talk about here. They're rebuilding, nothing to do.
Yep.
Goaltending, they got Grice, cool. Defense, they got Mark Stahl, epic. Like,
Data the Kaiser, who's
offense, they got Dylan Larkin, who I can't wait for his deal to end because if Detroit's not good by the time his deal ends and he could finally leave, that kid deserves so much more. He is so good at hockey.
Same with Mantha. Mantha's so good. As long as he can stick healthy, yeah. It's him and Bertuzzi. Hopefully they can start building a core there. Hopefully I can't fucking talk. Hopefully Zadina can crack the lineup. Some of the
starting to notice you can't talk ever. You're really bad at speaking.
Yeah, it's not like I haven't openly said that numerous times. I can't fucking talk. Fucking
oh my God.
Hey, but Detroit, I'm pretty sure they expect they're gonna finish last. Like, I'm pretty sure if I called up Steve Yzerman right now, been like, Steve, where do you think you're gonna finish next season? I'm pretty sure he'd say 8th. And I'm pretty sure he'd like that because he wants to get that draft pick. He wants that draft pick. He wants to keep building up the team. They might flip a couple players at the deadline. We'll see. But Detroit's going to finish last. Pretty sure that's no surprise to anybody. So I'd say this probably wouldn't come to surprise either. Hopefully you agree with me. Who do you think is going to finish 7th in the Central?
I have Chicago.
Yeah, me too. Okay. We talked about Chicago before. The main thing with Chicago, they're I can see it coming. They're gonna have a real problem with keeping the puck out of the net. Real big problem. Their offense might take a bit of a hit, but I think it'll still be decent. But that goalie, man, Subban, Colin Delia, and Lankinen. Lankinen has upside. Delia has upside. Subban's, I don't even know the right word to describe Subban.
Bad.
I guess that works, but their goalies, they got nothing going for them. The blue line's also not great. They got Duncan Keith. Anyone else in there, really? Let's be realistic here.
No one really.
Exactly. Their forward core, they got Kane, DeBrincat, Strome, Kubalik.
And a team that just announced they're going into a rebuild. You can imagine a lot of these pieces might be moving too.
Yeah, we could see a lot of pieces moving around here. Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Patrick Kane goes somewhere. He's not going to, but I mean, one could hope.
Like a bunch of these guys that added, like Zach Smith could be gone, Yanmar could be gone, Carpenter even he's a decent depth piece. He could be gone. Soderberg could be gone. David Kampf, I don't think he has much potential. Walmart could be gone. Hopefully Kirby Dack gets healthy better. Nylander, hopefully he can make an impact. Matthew Highmore as well. Hopefully they get Strome signed. But yeah, blue line, they got Boquist. Zadorov, they added him. I don't know, man.
They're not going anywhere. It's
they got Shaw. Hopefully maybe he'll be ready. Maybe he can make an impact. Go bother to shout out some people. But prospects, really nothing going for him. They got Brandon Peary. Maybe he'll play decent.
Oh, never mind. Nope. Cup. Easy. Cup.
But yeah, Chicago, they got nothing going for them. They're rebuilding, so it won't surprise many people if they finish bottom, 7th, around that area. So I see Chicago finishing around there. This is where I had a bit of a surprise. Who do you have finishing 6th?
Mine was kind of a toss-up between this one and the next one. I had Florida.
Okay. Why?
Because Florida's team is always just kind of mediocre. But the thing with Florida is Bobrovsky. I'm going to take a wild guess. Bobrovsky's I don't see him coming back. I just see his contract just being a huge burden. That's going to just stay there. Their blue line is aging, aside from Ekblad, obviously. They got Stroman and Yandel both aging. They just got Hornqvist, which is cool. Yeah, but other than that, outside the top 6, they did get Duclair though. But I don't know, because the teams in front of them, they just have better everything, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, this team isn't horrible, but it just kind of lacks. I don't know. It just kind of lacks the thing that makes me think they're going to do anything.
They're like the king of underperforming, I feel like, Florida.
Yeah, I can understand.
They're the kings, yeah. They always underperform. If you look at
their forward core from last year, it was really fucking good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like Hoffman, Dadonov in there. It's not bad.
Now they just lost those. They didn't really get much to
Exactly.
replace
Yeah.
them.
They
So
got
yeah.
nothing to replace them, in fact. But
Patrick Hornqvist. Duh.
fuck. I meant like they lost him in free
I
agency.
know.
Like
I
that's
know.
what I
I know.
meant.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
okay. So I can respect your decision, but here's bold prediction number one for my predictions list. I have Nashville finishing in sixth.
Mhm.
Okay, and here's why. Kind of talked about it before. I just don't think this offense is it, bro. I don't think the offense is there. Their defense is great. Defense is phenomenal. Top four is awesome. They brought in Boro Cop, which is really going to help out that bottom six defense. The one thing that I think might give Nashville a pretty big problem this year, I think the goaltending. I think their goalies are not going to be great this year. I think Pecorine is going to take another step back. And I think Saros I don't think he's going to be able to handle the workload. I don't think Saros is going to be a star in the league. I think he's more of a 1A, 1B type of guy, more of a 1B. I just can't see Saros really stepping in and performing at a high level. Like, I don't even think most people expect him to. I don't even know with him anymore. But we'll see. On the offense, we talked about it before. Johansson's making way too much money for his production. Duchesne's making way too much money for that production. Forsberg's good. Arvidsson's good. Granlund did not fit. Colton Sissons is a third-line player. Grimaldi's bottom six. Yonkrock, bottom six. Howla could be top six. Not really any much room because he's more of a center. And just bottom six forwards, I say. Yakov Trenin could make an impact. We'll see, though. I'm not really too sure yet. And they really don't have anyone too great in the prospect pool. They got Eli Tolvanen, who just seemingly cannot crack the roster. They got Philip Tomasino. I can never say
Tomasino, I think.
Tomasino. Yeah, I can't. It's either Tomasino or Tomasino. I can't pronounce it. But they really don't have much going for them. I'm gonna be honest with you. I liked Nashville a couple of years ago. I thought their team was really good. Like when they won the President's Trophy in 2017, I thought, Nashville's really good. They're legit. I'm just not a fan. I can't see Nashville making the playoffs next season. I see them finishing sixth. Who do you have finishing fifth?
So fifth, like I said, it was a toss up between 6 and 5 for these two. Nashville, because you said the whole thing. The one thing I'm going to point out, which you definitely said at some point, I think today during this podcast. I don't know if you said it and I just missed it just now.
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't know what it is. If it's the scheme, it's the coach, it's
Yeah.
the offense is just not working. Like as good as it seems on paper, it's just something about it is just not working.
Fuck. Remember they fired Peter Laviolette?
Yeah.
Do you remember who they brought in?
John Hines.
John Hines. Yeah, that'll do it. John Hines made the playoffs with the Devils once, and that's the only notable thing he's done. So then again, he hasn't had much to work with. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but still. I don't know, man. I don't like John Hines. He's not a good coach in my opinion.
Yeah, but excuse me. You're right though. This goaltending is going to take a huge hit with Rene's age coming up. They got Askarov, but he's a goalie.
He's not there yet.
Yeah, he's not going to be ready for a few years.
So yeah, I see Nashville not going anywhere.
The offense, it's just not going to do anything for him. So I take him going fifth, just missing the playoffs.
Okay, and I have this team just missing the playoffs. When I mean just missing the playoffs, I mean just missing the playoffs. I have the Columbus Blue Jackets. So with Columbus, Columbus is one of those teams. They work so freaking hard. They're like one of the hardest working teams in the league. They bust their asses. Like they might not be as good as many teams, but they work just as hard. They got a great coach, John Tortorella. I like some of the moves they made. They brought in Koivu, going to be some good veteran leadership on that team. They bring back Mikhail Grigorenko, who might have some offensive upside. We'll see. But they just have some dead contracts on this team. Brandon Dubinsky's making $5 million, way too much. Boone Jenner's making 3.7 somehow on the blue line. Even Savard's making a little too much. I'd say even Gavrikov might be I've said this before, a little bit too pricey. He might come into his own, though. We'll see. I like their goaltending. Goaltending is really good. I don't know. I feel like they lack this superstar player. Pierre-Luc Dubois, I think, will be that superstar up front. I don't think he's there yet in order to really have the supporting cast. Atkinson's got to bounce back. He's got to stay healthy. Nyquist has got to continue his decent production. Domi hopefully will be a decent fit there. I think he will. But like I said, they're a good team. Some of those young players will have an impact too. What's his face? Bemstrom, Texier, Liam Foodie even. They got some decent players. They just they need a couple years. I feel like maybe 2-3 years develop some of these players. Dubois, maybe bring in a superstar. Maybe what's his face? Domi takes a step up. Maybe he produces like he did a couple years ago, 70+ points. We'll see. I don't think it's gonna happen now. As to why I have them finishing just outside the playoffs. They're gonna be good, just outside the playoffs. Okay, so playoff now. Who do you have sneaking into the playoffs at number 4?
So this is probably going to piss people off just because of how far they went this year, but I have Dallas just making the playoffs.
Interesting.
Because I don't know, like I really think it was kind of a fluke. Like as much as I love Joe Pavelski and wanted him to win and everything, I didn't really see it happening.
No.
Because like think about it, like that team's not incredible. Like Sagan and Ben are like pretty much Monahan and Gaudreau just for Dallas. Like
Yeah.
if they're not. But the thing is, I feel like Calgary's got stuff to help them now that if Gaudreau and Monahan aren't
They're
there.
not there, yeah.
But in this case, if it's no Sagan and Ben, there's not much going on.
Guryanov was decent. Hopefully he takes a step. They got Hintz, they got Dickinson. Like they're not bad, but like you said, there's really not like, those superstars to take over if Ben and Sagan don't perform.
The defense, you got Heiskanen, who Dell is okay. I feel like once you get outside of that, maybe like Mark Pysyk is okay. Big Rego Lexiak, he's kind of just a big physical player more than anything.
Basically.
The goaltending, Bishop and Kudobin, pretty good. Apparently, one of them is one of the best goalies in the league, according to NHL and NBC.
Apparently, yeah. Best save percentage in the league, even though it's not true. It literally wasn't true, but whatever.
I don't know. I just feel like the offense is kind of kind of weak outside of Sagan and Ben. So I don't know. I definitely think they will make the playoffs, just not by a big margin.
No, I agree. But at number 4, I have who I call the king of underperforming. I have the Florida Panthers. I think this is the year Florida finally puts it all together and they can just get in the playoffs. Because if we look at Florida's team, like they have some decent pieces up front. They got Barkov, Huberdeau. They added Hornqvist. Duclair, they just added. Hinostroza was decent. Hornqvist can be decent. Vetrano was pretty good as well. On the blue line, they got some as well decent pieces. Yandel's aging. Hopefully, give the production. Same with Strawman. Ekblad's decent. I think he still has potential to grow. Uyghur as well. Nudavara as well. Gudas is going to there to just, hopefully not mess with his teammates' wives. And
that's not. Wait,
that wasn't him?
No, he didn't. Not with a wife. It was a teammate. It was Michael Neuvir's sister.
It was Gudas though, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't his wife. It was his sister.
I got that confused.
I think they were dating.
Let's hope not. He messes around with anyone's sister here, but that's what I meant to say. So Stoneman's pretty good as well. But the main thing that I have coming together here, Sergei Bobrovsky. I think he finally comes back, comes into his own, plays up to that contract. I think he's going to play. And I think he's going to I wouldn't say he's going to win the Vezina. I think he's going to make a run. He might not be a nominee. I think he'll be in conversation. Maybe like I could see his low being like the 8th guy, 7th guy, maybe 6th around that area. I see him bouncing back in a huge way, taking Florida all the way to the playoffs. I don't know how far they get, but I think he's going to take them to the playoffs. And I think it's going to be mainly on his back after everyone doubted him this year. He had a lot of time off. So hopefully he found his game and everything, could bounce back solidly. I feel like one more piece up front would really benefit this team. Losing Hoffman and Dadonov really hurt on paper, but maybe they have someone young they could bring up. Yeah, they got Gregory Denisenko, Heponiemi, some guys that can come on. They got Tippett too. Tippett might be ready as well. So they might have some guys that could step in, that could produce at level, maybe not the same level Dadonov and Hoffman produce, but slightly under, but it'll be just enough to get in the playoffs with Bobrovsky finally bouncing back. So I think Florida will do just enough and get just into the playoffs at number 4. So who do you have coming in at number 3?
Number 3, you've ranked this team pretty low in my opinion, but I mean I can respect your reasoning. I have Columbus going 3rd in this division. The thing I like about Columbus is you are right; they do lack a superstar. However, Pierre-Luc Dubois, I think he's going to I think he's going to make it this year. I think he's going to be the guy. He's only 22 years old. He's about to get a decent payday. They got 9.2 mil left to dance with. He's going to get a.
And they still could add someone as well. So.
They can, yeah. So they also have Liam Foudy, who looked really good in the playoffs, in my opinion. They also have Texier, who honestly he might make the roster as well. They have potentially one of the better top 2 defensemen in the league, Jones and Werenski.
Yep.
However, the thing I have with Columbus that I think that's going to put them over the edge is last year they made a decent team. They made the playoffs and everything. They did that without Josh Anderson. Now they have Max Domi, who's going to do what Josh Anderson didn't, and that's play.
And more, yeah.
And more so, yes. So, because Domi's better than Anderson, in my opinion. So I think Domi with Dubois, not specific line, I'm saying Domi, Dubois. I think Atkinson, who's still really good in my opinion.
Foligno's in there too.
Foligno, yep. And then that defense is really good. Jones, Werenski, Savard's not bad. Gavrikhov's pretty good. Outside of that is whatever, but and then that goaltending duo, I think Elvis and Korpisalo, that's like a really good duo. Korpisalo, that heartbreaking overtime loss after 5 overtimes, so I think it was. After how many shots did he face? 70 something, right?
He broke the NHL record.
So
if Columbus would have won that game, they would have won the series.
Yeah, easily.
Yep, they would have won that. That was the deciding game of that series.
Just think, they gave the Stanley Cup champions a run for their money.
Yeah, no, they 100%
and now
did.
Their team's only gotten better, so I don't know. I think Columbus might be a factor in the playoffs, I think.
No, they could. We'll see. I just feel like Florida might outbeat them. Just hopefully if Bobrovsky can bounce back. If Bobrovsky shits the bed, then my prediction looks
I feel like
Florida's
Florida's success is based on Bobrovsky.
Yep. I have him bouncing back, so we'll see. If he doesn't, then there might be as low as 6. So we'll see. Based on who I have number 3, I have Dallas number 3. So they went to the Stanley Cup final this past season, mainly on the back of their, I'd say, depth and goalie. Their stars really didn't pop out. Sagan is going to miss training camp. It came out today, so that's going to hurt them a little bit. So they're going to have to rely on Ben, Pavelski, Radulov, some of these guys to hold the fort down, even like a Foxa and Skurianov, who I mentioned before. Dickinson's going to take another step. Kivi Vranta, who knows what he can do? We'll see if he's the real deal, see what he can do. Their defense is good, and Lindell's really good. Klingberg's underpaid, really good. Heiskanen's really good. They added who they had? They had Pissick. They signed Honka again. Honka has a little potential. Didn't play with them last year. Went overseas. We'll see what he can do. Maybe he'll bounce back. Bishop and Khudobin though. I like Bishop. I've always liked Bishop. Really underrated goalie in my opinion. He's been really good for really long. Khudobin though. I don't know what to expect out of him. I don't. He was remarkable in the playoffs last season. He was really good last season. Apparently the best goal in the league last season. So. Does he keep it up? I'd say not to the level that he produced in the playoffs, but I still think he's a really solid 1B. Could be a 1A, but he's a 1B on this team, so he's going to be a decent 1B. Basically, you said mostly everything there is to say about Dallas. They're decent. They're going to be a playoff team. I don't think they go as far as they went last year. I'd say a first-round exit's more likely, but they're going to be there, and I think they'll be pretty decent next season based off what hopefully I think Bishop's out for training camp as well, actually. So it's going to be.
I'm not sure.
I saw something today. I might be wrong. Could be wrong. I'm pretty sure. I know I saw Sagan. Sagan's going to be out. I'm pretty sure Bishop was on the list too. So we could see Khudobin getting more starts than Bishop next season. So we'll see how Khudobin actually really does playing as a starter. So we'll see. I have him finishing 3rd. So we'll see what happens. So who do you have finishing runner-up in the Central Division?
Okay. Before I begin, I just need to say, hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out.
I'm hearing.
Most people would assume, since they won the Stanley Cup.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Tampa Bay is going to win the entire division easily. However, they're missing easily their best player for the whole season. So now, the leading goal scorer on that team, leading point producer. I don't know about goal scoring because Stamkos is here, but the chances Stamkos stays healthy, pretty abysmal. Like he is never healthy. He's always getting hurt. So now, they got Point, they got Cirelli, they got Palat. Gord's not that good. I'm not sure what's going on with Johnson anymore. The defense is still amazing. Vasilevsky and McElhaney, incredible goaltending duo. However, Carolina's got a really good fucking team. Like they really do.
They really do. I've always backed that for years now. I love Carolina's team.
So is it Is it criminal for me to think that Tampa's taking second in this division?
A
Not
lot,
by a lot. Very small margin. It's going to be between the two.
a lot we're gonna have to go wrong though. Stamkos would have to be out. Kucherov would have to miss serious time, which he already is. Stamkos
He's
is
out
going
for
to
the
have to get
season,
hurt.
is he
Yeah,
not?
yeah, no, he is, but he's going to come back for the playoffs. I'm assuming because they said regular season. So we'll see with that. He could come back in the playoffs.
I made this list assuming Stamkos doesn't even get hurt. I think Carolina could beat Tampa even if Stamkos stays.
That's bold. I'm a really big Carolina fan. If Jacob Markstrom signed to that team, I can see it. But I just don't think it's going to happen. That goaltending, it doesn't scare me, but it's not it. It's not there. They could be so much better. I love that Hurricanes team. So let's look at the Carolina Hurricanes team. So the Hurricanes, their forward core is fantastic. Aho up front, Teravainen, super underrated. Teravainen's so underrated. They added Trocheck. They got Svechnikov on a rookie deal still. Jesper Fast they added for so cheap. He could honestly play first line, second line, third line, fourth line. He's one of those guys. Fogel's going to take it on the step. Disengo hopefully can bounce back. Niederreiter hopefully bounce back as well. They have one of the best defensemen in the league at Hamilton and Slavin. Just that they're so good, bro. They got Brady Shea. Like their defense is unreal. They even have Joachim Ryan now too. Dude, But
that's why I said, hear me out. Dude, Carolina's team is, you said it yourself, it's a scary team. The only thing holding them back from greatness is the goalie.
I agree. But I still have Tampa finishing number one.
I can respect that. Like I said,
Yeah.
I could respect it. It's whatever.
Tampa, I feel like they're just too good. They're gonna have so much confidence going into the next season. Yeah, they're gonna be without Kucherov, but Braden Point is gonna be one of the best centers in the league next season. You watch out. Sorelli's gonna take another step. Sergachev's gonna take a step. Hedman's gonna be there. Vasilevsky's gonna be there. I'm a little worried up front. I think they'll be fine. They'll be able to figure it out. They got players that can come up and play fine. So I still see Tampa winning. I can respect the Carolina because I love Carolina. I love that team. They're probably I'd say maybe my second favorite team. I'm a huge Carolina fan, but it wouldn't necessarily. I could see it happening. It would just surprise me. I'd be like, whoa, okay, Carolina won, but I could see it happening, and I can respect the argument. So that's who we have finishing 1 and 2 in the Central Division.